My fellow Ugandans, it has been a very busy 2024 on the landline. We wanted to ensure that as this year closes, there is no land dispute which goes beyond the neighborhood. That my Nsalo is here and your Nsalo is here. Those are the small squabbles which are always among neighbors. Those will always be there. But the larger picture of some landlord coming, not really landlord, a titled holder coming from nowhere and declaring this is my land, you people, Mayanja holders, get off. We wanted to make sure that by the time this year ends, such a thing is a thing of the past. It belongs to the bad part of our history. And I want to say proudly that we have succeeded. It's now no longer possible for anyone to come and declare I'm the owner. And I'm the owner of these 2 square miles, therefore all of you who are on it, get out. We have succeeded because we have given people information. And we've taken the approach, a whole government approach. It has not been that the Minister of Land, State for Land, Sam Mayanja, goes and does this or that land issue in the field. It has been a case of a whole government approach. As I go out there in the field, the entire ministry is behind me, the ministerial team in the ministry. Then the other government organs, the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, the police, the crime intelligence system, the CID, then the RDC system and the political administration, and the MPs. We have all been going as one government approach, and that's how we have succeeded. We first went when we started this campaign, we went to Komawa Simbi. Remember, the entire villages had been thrown off their villages. There was interference from the judiciary, was clashing with the executive. That, if you recall, was a very momentous moment. People were returned, and people are now safely cultivating and advancing themselves economically, using the advantages of the system, PDM, and all these programs which Muzei has put in place to make sure bonna bagagawala, not nze ngagawale, but bonna bagagawale. And this has been possible because evictions, as we know, have now stopped. You know, if you go to, I think we were with you when you went to Sango Bay. Now that project has begun, that palm oil project, which is going to bring Ugandans billions and billions. As I speak today, planting has begun. A nursery, which is the biggest in Africa, is beginning. Already, I think 4,000 to 5,000 people are in employment in Sango Bay. Now, when you add that with coffee boom, which is now going on, I think we visited the Pastor Sechewa's factory. You saw the effect. There's no more border business in that area because people have money to buy borders for themselves as a home tool. As in the long time ago, people used to buy bicycle. It was for home. When he wanted to sell coffee, just puts on his bicycle and goes and tells coffee. He wants to go to the town, he gets out his bicycle. That's what is happening in Chotera now. Because of Sangobe, because of the coffee, people are buying their own border at home. They don't need to hire. All because of this stability which has come. So I think we have succeeded. Now for that, and this has been enabled but by the articulation to the people of the presidential directive. People didn't know that the president was with them. Yet his first directive was in 2013, 22nd October. If you recall, 1st October, the president had signed that memorandum of understanding with the Kabaka of Uganda. I call him Kabaka of Uganda because that's the normal term. Otherwise, that the constitutional term in Uganda should be Sabataka, because he's a cultural leader. People want to mislead people by using a certain sub-article which states that you can call him by whatever name called. You can even call him a king. But when you are talking legal and you are talking constitution, you forget this whatever called and use the constitutional term. Culture leader in Uganda is a Sabataka. And the Sabataka has no chiefs, he has no administrative role whatsoever. He has a cultural leadership, which in Uganda is led under the system of a nyumba, oluja, a siga, olunyiriri, mutuba, up to Mutako wa Kasolya, who joins Sabataka, and that is the structure of the cultural leadership of Uganda. And that's what was signed by the memorandum of 21st. But people misunderstood that memorandum, because if you read it, it's a public document, it's very clear. People gave a wish list. We want our land of which belonged to us was taken over as a 67 constitution. That is as claimed in the 1993 Restitution Act. They gave the entire list, but there were two clauses there. This law, this memorandum will be governed by the laws of Uganda. Number two, the president will put in place a committee to oversee the implementation. So you had to have the law conforming to the laws of Uganda. And then after that, the president puts in place a committee. Now, this law needed to be modified to conform to the constitution. And why did it need that to happen? Number one, because at the time of the 1993 restitution of properties to the traditional rulers, which had been taken over the 67 constitution, there was no defined traditional leadership as per constitution. You still had to rely on the pre-66 position when there was still Kabaka under a constitution. But to define it now under a new constitution, what is this traditional leader? It had not yet been defined. It was only defined under the 1994 current constitution. So this law had to conform, because you know the fundamental law of the land is the constitution. Number two, public land is defined differently. As per 66, when the traditional rulers disappeared with the disappearance of the federal system, public land was managed under three constitutional institutions. That is the Uganda Land Commission for the entire Uganda, district land boards for the districts, and kingdom or federal boards under the boards. Now 66 goes, we have now districts only, unitary government under districts. So even the land now, which was under the boards, under the federal, was a mixture. So the 62 constitution put all the land under Uganda Land Commission. That was the situation when the 1993 returned to cultural leaders, property taken from them by 67 constitution. That's when it came in. That was the position. Now the 95 constitution got all the public land from the Uganda Land Commission and put it under the districts, living on a government land under Uganda Land Commission. So there's a big change. You have to conform. Then there was no Mairo in 1993. Mairo had been removed, had been abolished by the 1975 landform decree of the military regime of Idi Amin. Now 95 returned the Mairo. So again, that is a change, a fundamental change which you cannot ignore. Now, then in 1993, there was no security of occupancy of a Chibanja holder. This had been abolished under the 1975 landform decree. Now, 95, under Article 237, Sub-Article 8, there is return of security to the Bibanja holders and guaranteed by the Constitution. In 1993, there was no lease compatible to freehold. Now it is there. there was no law, constitutional constitutional requirement requiring Parliament to make a law which would give Uganda holders titles. Now, under this Constitution 95, which is there, where 237 sub Article 9. So you can see that there's all the reason to make sure that 1996 93 Restitution Act to traditional rulers for land taken away from them by the 1967 Constitution to be amended first to be conformed. So it has not been amended first. It has not yet conformed. Therefore, it is not yet operational. But now people just went and took titles and started managing land, giving leases, demanding Mayanja holders to take that, to pay 200,000 to secure their, yet their security had already been guaranteed under Constitution. This has been explained to the people. I think those people who are now dangling that are now aware also. So the main establishment, as it is established now, are aware they cannot now, this land is not yet theirs. The people already now are aware the land is public land and secured under Section 59(1)A of the Land Act. That land cannot be given away by as long as it's occupied. So that's security now. As about a lot, I would say. Number two, the directive of His Excellency, the one of 22, which I was talking to before I started explaining about the memorandum. That one clearly stated, a Kibanja holder that is yours, no one will take it away from you. You don't have to kwegula, because you can't kwegula what is yours. You can't buy yourself your own shirt. You can't buy your own shoe. It is yours. So that is theft. Now people know it, that it is theirs. Small part of my 8 acre Kibanja, give me a title on 1 acre and I surrender the rest because it's already mine. People now know that if I refuse to sell my Kibanja to whoever on willing buyer, willing sell, I can stay secure on the title. People now on the land, protected by law. People now know that if anybody tries to evict me, I can be arrested. Those evicting me can be arrested, whoever it is. And then number three, that if I've already been evicted, I can now go to government and they put me back. That has brought a lot of security. And people now know that they have rights on the land by presidential directive. Now we have 2 cases which have come out recently from the courts, which state that presidential directive have force of law. So these directives now have force of law, and as far as have been given under Article 99, 1, 2, and 3 of the Constitution. So those have made people secure, and we have articulated to the masses the weaknesses now, which we handle and make sure this thing doesn't happen again. As you can see from the directive, there's even directive of the one of 22nd February 2022. That one talks of these orders from court, eviction orders. Those are not operative until they are considered, tabled and considered by the RDC chairman in the security committee with the clearance of the Ministry of Lands. So, the president clearly stated, if that does not happen and people are evicted, the president will deal with them. So those are strong points. Now the problem is that is what the president recently articulated and told the nation when he was in Ruero, when he was celebrating the 80 years birthday. And there, the president clearly explained that now all the laws are in place. You have the constitutional guarantee. You have the guarantee of the law for those who are on public land under the Public Lands Act, Land Act Section 1959, Section 1 and B, 59(1)A and 59(1)A as amended because it renders the whole transaction null, void, and the title, if given, cancelable under Section 91. guaranteed there. Then the Vivanjas on Milo or freehold on guaranteed under 95, Article 237, subsection 8 and 9. Then the presidential directives. So with those in place, under the law, every person in Uganda has security. What we would be talking about, do we need all the 14-year system? That would be the debate. But the security on land finished. The weaknesses are that is what the president indicated when he was in the way recently and said it is the leadership. We only need to strengthen the local leadership. The LC1, what are they doing? They are there, they know whoever is on the land. How can somebody come, trespass and evict when LC1 and the system is there? You look at the entire system, the political line in every district, LC5 and their team, LC3 and their team, LC1 and their team. How can anybody penetrate that system and allow any insecurity on land to happen? Then the presidential side, president represented by the RDC and the entire team under him, DISO, GISO, BISO, all those security organs, the police, the what, they are all there, up to the Gomborola, Muluka and village level. So it is those weaknesses in those which are causing those little insecurity on evictions which are there. As we come to 2025, President Museveni is still holding power. He's the one who has provided security. He's going to put in more strength and he will guide us more. And with us, his lieutenant, his foot soldiers there, we are going to work hard to make sure that this thing is the bad history. Just as we had the bad history of Idi Amin and we are putting behind, this we shall call it a bad history. That once upon a time, we had bad history where people were being evicted. Now it's the thing of the past. That's what we are now going to achieve. For those little bumurumuru which are left in 2025. And as we go now for the holidays, people be vigilant. Don't allow anybody just to come in to say, I'm surveying. You can't survey my Chibajanes. I've allowed you and you have authorization from all the relevant authority. That who brought you here? You cannot ask me because I'm here. Ownership of Kibanja is not Busuru receipt. It's not agreement of purchase. It's being there for a period of 12 years plus. Minimum 12 years. Once I've been there, don't ask me your Busuru receipts. Don't ask me. Don't tell me that you have a warrant of eviction. Those warrants now no longer have power until the Minister of Lands have cleared it. Going through the RDC Executive Committee. Don't come and tell me that I've bought here, therefore you who are there, I'm evicting you. No, sir. Buying, go and buy your title, but I'm a Chibanja holder protected by law. Don't tell me that, you see, you have not paid Busuru, therefore you go, no, the law courts have decided as far back as 53, under the Busuru and Bujuero, which is the same law under the Land Act, that Busuru is not a ground for eviction, non-payment, but it becomes a civil debt. And so with all this, now, as I've told you, Buganda Land Board Limited, they let them wait for their law of 1993 to be amended, to be brought into conformity. So don't quote now the memorandum anymore. That memorandum will come in place must conform to the laws of Uganda. Article 274, Article 1 of the Constitution requires that law to be brought into conformity. I'll brought you why it must be. And then the president will appoint a committee. I just recently read, I was looking through and so an LC5 of Mtiana district decided to give titles back. How can an LC5 give titles to Uganda? And what Uganda are they giving? The Buganda Land Board Limited, which is a private company, the Sabataka, who has defined who? Where does it stand when it says that it must conform to the law of the land, the law of Uganda? Where does it stand when the MMU says then the president will put a committee in place? It has not yet been put. So people now know, Uganda Land Board, now they know, they will keep quiet and until this is done. So we are ready to move to the next level. Land issues are stable now. Those Murumuru we are going to handle in 2025. President Museveni is achaliwo nnyo for Uganda and my country. Now, we have been having a problem of double titling, and problem of getting titles in the wetlands and the forests and in the national parks. Now we have gone digital. Now, if you want to register, first of all, we've got all the old titles and migrated them on the digital system. So anywhere where there's a second a title of a title, the secondary title under Section 48 of the Registration of Titles Act is cancelled. That's why you see now in Mukono we are cancelling all those other titles. Then nobody can now buy land and tell you that there's a title of a title, because as you go to register this other title land you bought, the system will reject the second registration because there's already a title, and you will not be deceived. You go whoever has tried to sell to you, you will find my money. And there will be no title in the forests because the system already will show that there's a forest here and will reject that registration. There will be no registration by manipulating the system without paying the appropriate stamp duty, because the system is first told by URA that stamp duty has been paid, and then the process will begin. So all the money, that's why you see that since this system began hardly 2 years ago, 3 years ago, revenue from Uganda land system has gone from registration of lands has gone from about 50 million per annum to almost $1 trillion, just because of the system in place. The forest titles, the title over title, is a thing of the past, except those few areas where where we have not migrated and still money. By the end of next year, by I think middle or thereabouts next year, there will be everything will be migrated. Everything will be digital. You only sit in your sitting room and check on your title, just paying a small fee of 10,000. You check on your title. If somebody is trying to fidget with your title registration, an alert will come on your mobile, and you call back and say, what is happening with my title? So everything is now being handled properly. I think we are off to go. And let me tell you, this title system, this digitalization, which we have now, is second to none in Africa. Countries all over the world, all over Africa, are coming to see our system. These people in the diaspora, they will sit in New York and check on their land in Uganda, whether it is good. When you want to buy land, you will just stand and you check whether the title is okay, whether there's any encumbrance by entering the racing on the mobile, and things will happen. So no falsehood, no double titling, no dodging taxation, no titles within wetlands, within forest, within UA. I think we are ready to go as a new Uganda in the land system. It remains for me to wish you a happy new year. Wishing Ugandans happy new year must have a basis. I've told you the basis is that now we are entering a happy ownership of land, where your land is actually your land and you have no doubt on the ownership. Nobody will come and tell you that no, you have a title, but there's somebody different in the title system. Now we have a system which is self-edited, which preserves the ownership of land, preserves our environment, preserves our nature, preserves our wealth, because land is our earth. With that, I wish all Ugandans a happy 2025. for God and my country.
Manya gange bampita mulani tumusiime RDC we district ya Kikuube era yenze chief whip wa RDC we Bunyoro wano. Kikuube district mpya kati ewezeza myaka 5 kuva bagikutula ku Hoima erina amagombolola nga 5 natandika nsonga 7 nga mumanyi ebintu by'ettaka. Kikuube naye erimu ku district ezirina ebizibu by'amataka kubanga abantu bagenda maaso omuwendo gw'abantu gugenda waggulu ate ettaka lyo terigenda waggulu lisigala nga biriri katawo ne waleetawo pressure ku ttaka naye tugendezaako okulwala nti tulwana. Ekisookera ddala pulezidenti waffe omwagalo ennyo General Yoweri Museveni atukwatiddeko nga Kikuube n'alaba nti olumu ku kkubo tuyinza okuyitamu okukendeeza ku buvubi bw'amataka kuyamba bannayuganda bannakikuube bano bafune ebyapa ebya bwereere. Mbiyita byapa bya bwereere lwaki? Kubanga okwata emitwalo 8 n'ekitundu yokka n'ofuna ekyapa kyo. Ate singa oba ogenze okwekola ekyapa kyo wewuka bayinza okujjako n'obukadde n'obusatu. So olaba nti pulezidenti ku byapa emitwalo 2 atuwadde ayambyeko bannakikuube almost billion nga 12. Actually about 40 billions zabataddemu bafune ebyapa. So tulowooza ati singa programu eno enatambula bulungi kati twakagitambulako emyezi nga 3 oba 4 kuva etandikibwawo kubanga contract bamuwa myezi 5 abenga amaze. Singa enatambula bulungi okujjako naye erinamu ebizibu abaliwo abali b'enguzi waliwo bana basaveya waliwo bachairman wano basaba abantu ssente ate nga bintu bya bwereere naye singa n'abantu byonna tubisootinzaawo tekirungi olwaleero na minisita agenda Kikuube ajja kwogerako y'abantu n'aba leaders. Singa kitambula bulungi kiba kigenda tuyambako nnyo mu kukendeeza obuvuyo bw'amataka n'okulwanira amataka. Naye kyo kizibu ky'amaanyi naye nga tukolagana bulungi na minisita ya lands. Ate nga of course nange sikola nzeka nkola na bannange bonna mu district chairman 5 ba MPs ba KAO ba land board na minister Mayanja tugezezaako okusazaamu ebyapa ebibadde bafunye mu kyamu. Abantu tubasomeseza nti kato omuntu okufuna ekyapa government oba parliament yateekako etteeka oyitawa nti osooka kujja area land committee ebeera ku gombolola nejja nekola inspection. N'abanneighbor bonna ne bajja ne bagamba ettaka eryo lya mulaani era tumumanyi era mutuuze. Bwe butuukira ku district land board nga tewaliiwo kyekwaso kyonna. Naye kati abamu ku ba area land committee ate badde beekobaana n'ababba amataka ne babakola inspection ez'ebicupuli. Ogenda kuwulira nti abo bakubayo ekyapa n'abatuuze nga tebalina kibamanyi naye ng'emikono y'aba area land committee kweri ku form n'ogamba ebyo babikola ddi. Naye ate abalala babadde bafoojinga emikono y'aba area land committee nabo ne bajja ne bakola ebyapa. Naye kati ekyo tulikirwanyisa nnyo era njagala kwebaza nnyo Honorable Dr. Sam Mayanja kubanga lumu yajjako n'ofiisi yonna Emuziro Masindi n'Eggala bonna ntubeera ku kibalaza kumala ennaku 2 Ekikuube nga basomesa abantu ku ani ow'ekibanja yaani landlord yaani relationship ki nkolagana ki ya wakati w'ekibanja ne landlord. Ye landlord yeeyisa atya ku w'ekibanja ye w'ekibanja yeeyisa atya ku landlord. At least abantu okusomesebwa bakufuna. Naye era tugenze nnyo maaso tubadde nnyo ku marediyo tusomeseza abantu ebintu bingi bikwata ku mataka abantu kati bakengefu ebintu babitegedde. Naye nga bw'omanyi nti okulwanyisa omubbi w'ettaka si kyangu. Gwe naawe amulwanyisa bw'oteerinda kukubiramu ayinza n'okugobesa ayinza n'okugobesa kubanga ateekayo embeera eraga nti yegwe omukyamu. Ye tateekayo embeera eraga nti olina abantu 10 b'oyambye wansi eri abantu 9 b'oyambye oba mu 9 yagamba omutulugunya ng'omuntu n'ateekako embeera yonna n'akuwaabira. Batuwaabidde nnyo bakama baffe naye ate ffe abantu 19 mu 9 batuyambye kati abeebakako ku tulo abalina ettaka lyabwe abakoleramu ate kati bo tibamanyi nti ne Kampala eyo ogenda ino waabira bandibadde basiri ba Kampala nga bakuba mu ngalo batweyanza. Naye kati tibabimanyi ebyo kati ono omubbi w'ettaka ono yabimanyi ayina emmotoka mulimu amafuta ayina esimu ali connected. Naye ekyo tekitulemeseza ffe kugenda mu maaso okukola ekitumanyi ekituufu. Taimu ekintu ky'ettaka nze ngamba gavumenti erina kwongeramu amaanyi tukikwate ddala n'amaanyi kubanga kiyinza to frustrate program endala za gavumenti kubanga tunula program ya PDM olina kubeera n'ettaka ogenda kukolera. tulina programu y'emyoga olina kubeera n'ettaka w'ogenda okukolera naye oliwo tolishuwa nti oba enkyo onaabaawo oliwo tolishuwa nti oba next week season enajja onaabaawo kiba kitegeeza nti munyayuganda ayina right ku ngiyite security of occupancy ku ttaka lye kyova olaba nze nyebaza nnyo naye minisita Mayanja atukoledde omulimu gwa ttendo fe abakoze naye mbabuulira abandaba ku TV omusajja oyo akoze omulimu ogwa ttendo bannayuganda erinnya Mayanja balimanyi nnyo lwaki balimanyi nnyo bagamba oli amalirawo ensonga zo oli yaga akiggwerawo ate nkiggwa n'akimala n'akifollowinga n'akukubira essimu nga sinalaba kino nga sinalaba kino is a hands on minister atuyambye nnyo era tusaba Katonda amutuweremu empeera tube nga tukyakola naye ebyettaka bijagenda conflict zireducinga tetusazimalyawo ddala naye tujja zireducinga mpola Christmas ababbi kati ab'ettaka bagambye anti kati offices zonna za land zijja kuggala naye polisi tegadde office ya RDC tegadde bachairman LC1 tubasomeseza nnyo tubagadde gye bali titugenda era twabadde mu security meeting tugati tugenda kukkiriza transaction y'ebyamataka mu season eno efenge ekikuubi tetugya kikkiriza until nga tuvudde mu season ya Christmas awo tunaawulira manya transaction kubanga zi drone zijja kujja nyingi mu biseera bino abantu bali mu Christmas beyagala ojja kukola zi drone zizze kutawanya mu kyalo tujja bakwatirayo ate kino nkibategeeza tujja bakwatirayo kubanga process y'okufuna ettaka tugimanyi ogenda otya kupima ettaka nga na chairman LC1 taliiwo ogenda otya kupima ttaka baneiba nga tebaliiwo tujja bakwatirayo